Here's something sweet before it all turns sour.
I wanted kids. Badly. But not meant to be.
The universe had other ideas, Viv. You have us, and we have you. You give the four of us everything we don't have, but need. And you're a cherub too. Our caring cherub.
Thank you, pet.
I don't understand where I fit in.
Friends of Dorothy, Episode 10, Home Invasion, by David Rector. Back to mid-1984 and a random morning, 11:30 a.m.
Okay. Once I had a love. Once I had a love. Once I had a... Once. Once I had a love, and it was a gas. Soon turned out he had a heart of glass. Seemed like the real thing, only too far behind. Macho mistrust, love's gone behind. Once I had a love, and it was a gas. Soon turned out he had a heart of glass.
A pair of thieves enter the fly door and begin carefully looking around. They hear Simon in the bathroom, but tiptoe.
Love's gone behind.
They carry plastic bags and affix balaclavas once inside.
Once I had a love, and it was divine. Soon found out I was losing my mind.
The thieves unplug the TV, the stereo, bagging them, and grab the vinyl albums and place them under their arms. They race out the front door.
It seemed like the real thing, but I was so blind. Macho mistrust, love's gone behind.
The thieves return and take their chances darting into the bedrooms. They have more bags and a more frenetic energy.
In between, what I find is pleasing and I'm feeling fine. Love is so confusing, there's no peace of mind. If I fear I'm losing you, it's just no good. You teasing like you do. La da da. La 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 la.
As Simon gets to the la da da section, one of the thieves begins bopping to it. The other gives him a punch to the shoulder to stop.
Ow!
They continue to grab clothes and personal items from the various bedrooms.
La da da. La 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 da da. La 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 da da. La 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 da da da. Yes, riding high on love's true bluish light.
One thief has multiple plastic bags. The other carries pot plants out. They both hurry. One kicks a table on the way.
Mikey? I hope my singing wasn't too much. Mikey? You're fine with my bath time, diva?
When there is no response, he looks puzzled. He grabs a towel and stands up. He now looks very troubled.
Mikey? I'm nervous when you're not talking. Stop playing games. Mikey!
2 very worrisome hours later, Steph races in and sights Simon clearing up the mess, strewn magazines, clothes, and newspapers.
Simon, are you okay?
Yeah, a bit shaken up, but all right. Oh, all the gals have gone. They took all the dresses, all the wigs, the shoes, everything. I've lost my crystals, my cards, my boards, and my balls.
What? Oh, sit down and tell me what happened.
Well, I was almost completely buried under an entire bathtub of bubbles and was practicing my new number. it's a torch-style performance, so...
After that. When did you realise that we had been broken into?
Well, I had reached my crescendo and was on the vocal fade-out when I...
The robbery!
Okay, I heard a random noise and called out for Mikey as he was in his room. Or so I thought.
So you didn't see anyone?
No. By the time I got out of the bath and into a towel, they'd well and truly gone. But I must admit, I was so covered in bubbles, I was stuck, sticky, slipping and sliding every which way. I had no kimono, no clothes, tiny towel. Awful!
Steph feels her frustration rising, but resists a reaction.
So you're unharmed. That's number 1. Number 2, what's been taken?
I'm still not sure. This room is a wreck.
It looked that way this morning. We didn't tidy up after our little gathering as William wasn't here. But I see that the telly has gone. Oh, and the stereo. What else? All the music? Oh, Mikey will simply go to pieces.
But I was sure he was here with me.
He'll be at work now. I have to contact him. And when are the cops coming?
I don't know. I haven't called them yet.
What? It's the first thing you do, Simon!
You know how I feel about the police.
Yes, but we've been burgled. It's a crime, and the more time between it and calling the cops makes it next to impossible to actually catch the culprit. I'll do it now.
I'm so sorry, Steph. I did call you, though.
What do I look like, Wonder Woman? Cagney or Lacey? One of Charlie's angels? Oy vey.
Simon looks forlorn. He returns to tidying. Simon's bedroom. He is standing in the centre of the room, flanked by drawers and bedding that have been upturned and tossed. Steph knocks gently to alert him to her presence.
We really should make a list of what's been taken. The police will be here soon, but I'm not holding my breath. Mikey's on the way too, although I didn't tell him what happened, just that there was an urgent situation to handle.
You didn't want to tell him? Why?
Primal screams in a library are not ideal.
They took all my plants. Who nicks pot plants?
Did they have pot in them?
Steph, I don't do drugs. They were pansies.
I'm sorry, Simon. I shouldn't laugh, but...
I don't know how they made off with so much of our stuff in such a short time. I hadn't even got to the second verse.
They were probably on drugs. I'll get a pen and we'll itemize it all. I think you should take the night off from work. It's been a big shock.
No, the show must go on. I need the money. But I've nothing to wear. They took my Ginger Grant, Farrah Fawcett, Dolly, and Lucy. Oh, my Lucille Ball. I'll have to be someone else tonight.
Oscar Wilde famously said, "Be yourself as everyone else is taken." Now's your chance.
But how can I find myself in just a few hours? Oh.
A short time later, Mikey flies into the living room with a crazed look. He stops and stares around the space.
Steph? Steph? Honey, I'm home. Sugar pop? Steph?
Mikey, prepare yourself for a shock.
What? The place always looks like this when William stays away with God knows who.
No, it's not that.
Has the fuse had another hissy and exploded?
Mikey, perhaps you should sit down.
Did William come out? Did Simon hold a séance with Elvis Presley and James Dean wafting about?
We were robbed.
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean? The house was burgled. People that aren't us entered the dwelling illegally and took our stuff. Thieves. Bandits.
Mikey looks at her,
Ah!
then rushes into his room. He stands in the centre and sees that everything has been overturned and rummaged through.
Oh!
He looks up at the wall to see the posters of his pin-up boys still there, but all torn. He stoically holds himself together. The living room. 15 minutes later. Steph is pensively waiting on the armchair. Mikey is sprawled on the sofa in a fetal position. Simon is preparing food in the kitchen. Steph leaps up.
Who's there?
Sergeant Twemlow, Waverley Police Station.
Sergeant Twemlow, 58, is at the fly door. Constable Higgins, 27, is behind him.
Come in. I'm Stephanie Longman. I called.
The two uniformed officers walk in, the junior giving Steph the once-over as he passes her. Sergeant Twemlow approaches Mikey.
And you are?
Pretty shaken up, actually.
Your name? And could you sit up, son?
Mikey is surprised by the instruction but does so.
Michael Addison. And you're not my father.
And that's Simon Svensson in the kitchen.
Is it just the three of you residing here?
Constable Higgins wanders around, sizes up Mikey as he slouches and is wearing garish colours, revealing cut-offs.
No, William Woodward is at work right now.
And what does he do?
He's a public servant somewhere in the city.
How is that relevant, Officer Tremlow?
Twemlow, and it's Sergeant, and I decide what is relevant and what is not, Mr. Swenson.
Svensson, not Swenson.
And how do you three occupy yourselves?
I think that's a bit personal, Sergeant Temlow.
Twemlow, and I'm not interested in what you do for recreation. Not yet, anyway. Work. Do you have jobs?
I am a librarian. Steph is a student and part-time in retail, and Simon, Simon...
I am an entertainer and a psychic.
You didn't see the home invasion coming, did you?
Can we show you round and provide a list of what was taken? Simon was here when it occurred.
All in good time, Miss Longman.
Ms., not Miss.
I'll look around, and Constable Higgins here will take some prints off the entry point. Show us where they broke in.
They didn't break in. They just came in.
What, through a locked door? Did they smash their way in? I see no signs of forced entry.
The front door was open.
What? Really? How did that happen?
It was open when I left for work.
Question asked, question answered.
Simon was here. I could hear him singing.
I was taking a bath. I could hear you tinkering.
Higgins, just get the list and we'll be on our way. What do you expect from us? You rolled out the red carpet for them. You're not in Nimbin now, folks. Live like hippies, and this is what happens.
There's nothing wrong with being a hippie. Aren't you meant to uphold the law, Sergeant Tremlow?
Twemlow, and that's what we're doing. Citizens don't help themselves when they have no security. Just a locked door, one that shuts. That'd be a start.
But those bastards helped themselves to our belongings. That's not okay.
Language, Mr. Addison. A home is robbed every 30 minutes in this city. 99% of those are a break and enter. My advice to you all, fortify your house. Hand your list to Higgins and we'll let you know if anything shows up with any perps we find.
So, the chances of retrieving our property or yours of arresting these criminals?
2 chances. None and Buckley's. On both counts. Consider yourself lucky Mr. Swenson here was not assaulted, or worse.
Svensson. And you don't need to frighten us any more than we already are, Sergeant.
You look very familiar to me. Higgins, do a check when we get back to the station.
Sergeant Twemlow exits, heading into a bedroom. Higgins follows like a puppy. Simon pokes his tongue out at them. Steph shakes her head. Mikey returns to lying on the sofa.
Oink, oink.
Steph's bedroom that evening. As she attempts to find order in the chaos, Mikey saunters in.
I'm not sure they even entered your room.
They most certainly did. I've been well and truly looted. My trophies, trinkets and jewellery.
But they're all girly things.
Earth to Michael, you have such a rudimentary take on gender.
I wasn't rude. Fair suck of the sav. I have lost everything.
Suck of the sav? Really? Everything?
Everything that mattered. My TV, my stereo, my record collection.
Yes, I know, but they're replaceable items. They took all my overalls. Every last one. What sort of urchin pinches overalls?
A cross-dressing robber? A crooked lesbian? Maybe the burglar took it for his mole.
Thanks, Mikey, for your empathy. Who uses the word mole anymore? They took my sloppies.
Ew, a robber with a fetish. Curious, they left on my cut-offs, singlets and fluoro shirts.
Very odd. They clearly have no taste.
When's William due back?
Any minute. Dang, we didn't give the fuzz a list of his stolen property.
Did he move in with anything? Just shirts and jocks. He's like Clark Kent, wearing the same outfit over and over. And who says dang?
Does Simon's reaction worry you?
No, he's being his usual trippy-dippy self.
As opposed to your grown-up and grounded air.
Our safe haven has been penetrated, and not in a good way.
I know, but we will make it safe again. Somehow. Remember, they can't take away our dignity. Although you might still have some if they had taken your cut-offs.
Mikey looks down at his sheer shorts. He forces a smile. The living room shortly thereafter. William is in the armchair. Steph and Mikey on the sofa.
It's high time we had a contact number for you, William. This was an emergency and I had no way to reach you.
Just the one for the phone box you get changed in to find truth, justice and the Aussie way.
Yep, point taken, Steph. I'll give it to you.
So, what did you lose?
My radio, a watch, and half a dozen new shirts. Never even been opened. Oh, and some jockeys.
It wasn't me, I swear.
We have to go to the police with your information on what was stolen.
Oh no, I don't want to be anywhere near that Inspector Tremble twit.
The officer who attended. He was pretty awful.
It's our civic duty, as well as any hope of getting recovery of our property and some satisfaction.
Certainly not my idea of satisfaction.
I'll go. I'm not deterred by authorities.
Yes, you're butch. They won't give you any guff.
Simon enters, wearing cut-off shorts, knee-length boots, a halter top, and a platinum wig.
Good Lord, Simon. Who did you decide on?
Well, seeing as most of my wardrobe was taken, desperate times and all, can't you guess?
Oh, sigh. Prostitution is not the answer.
Don't be ridiculous, Mikey. He's Debbie Harry.
Spot on, Steph. I'd been working on Heart of Glass, and after you and I had a little talk recently, I decided to make the act more current and more feminine.
Well, there's a turn-up. Steph giving Simon drag tips. Must be a blue moon.
I still reckon you look like a hooker.
Debbie Harry has her own defiantly strong and feminine sexuality. I think you found a great mix of her and you in one package.
There is still a bit of package showing, Si.
Well, it was slim pickings, as they only left me with Mae West, and she is so yesterday.
I think it's great you're going contemporary. There's plenty of campy icons to inhabit.
Yes, and let the songs navigate your persona. You can imbue the characters with more of yourself too. Pick and choose the look, play with different styles and moods.
Everyone stops and looks at Steph.
What? I am a woman, and a big fan of Blondie. Yes, the sisterhood may strike me off for giving pointers to a crossdresser, but Simon cuts quite the figure. And in my boots too.
With him using my cut-offs, I should get half the credit for the drag queen in front of you.
There's no doubt you have full queen status.
Is it my imagination, or is he getting bitchier?
The kitchen. A few minutes later, Mikey, Steph, and William are preparing dinner.
Is anybody home? Cherubs, are you there?
She's talking to the front door.
Well, she normally can and does just come in.
No longer. Our open door policy has closed.
Mikey goes to let her in.
Come in, Viv. We're crying over spilled milk, among other things.
Is that all? Did you hear about the home invasions? All the residents are gas-bagging about it. Neighbourhood Watch meets tonight.
Where were you all when it mattered? We were burglarised. Big time. Thieves and vandals.
Wasn't that one of Cher's hits? Oh, wait, no, that was gypsies, tramps and thieves.
Were you robbed too, Viv?
Miraculously, no. I've been out all day, but the blob was home. Oh, one look at him and they'd have run a mile, which is just as well as he is not made for chasing. Or much else, really. You okay?
Yes, only Simon was home at the time. In the bathtub, if you will.
Oh, monstrous. He could have been done over too.
If he was singing at full bore, perhaps not.
Mikey's right. You are getting a tad catty.
So, what's the damage?
The big ticket items, the telly, stereo, lots of clothes, including almost all of Simon's characters. Someone's going to have one hell of a fancy dress party with our stuff.
Some personal and meaningful items to us as well, though. Gifts and mementos.
At least they left the beanbag.
I wish they'd taken it. Silly contraption.
It's all so brazen, isn't it?
Yes, especially as we left the door open for them. Probably druggies seizing the opportunity. I stay away one night and everything goes to hell in a handbasket.
They must have seen you leave and thought, the man of the house is gone, let's rape, pillage and plunder.
That's all a bit histrionic, isn't it? And William is not the man of the house.
Sorry, Steph, I've crept onto your turf there.
Hey, Mr. X and Y chromosome. At last tally, we have 3 of you living here. I'm a double X.
It doesn't show, love. Have the police been?
For all the good they were, but the horse had well and truly bolted by that time.
We never had a horse. Although, that one guy...
From here on in, nothing else is going to bolt out of here. First and foremost, at all times we shut the front door. Sorry, Viv.
Don't worry, ducks. Just give me a spare key.
Steph rolls her eyes, shaking her head. Simon enters fully made up and dressed for work.
Oh, don't you look a treat. Who are you tonight?
A bit of me, a little of Steph, and the allure of Debbie Harry.
Ah, so multiple personalities then.
It's mostly me, Viv. I'm peeling off my layers.
Well, you wouldn't want to peel off much more.
Would you like to stay for dinner, Viv?
Would I? Oh, what a treat. But none of you can cook.
Now we've been stripped bare of all our goods and chattels. We can't afford takeaway food.
Between the 3 of us, we figure we can boil pasta, chop and fry veggies, add a tin of sauce.
Oh, good-o. Anyway, I'm not coding blue.
She can say that again. Or can she?
The courtyard. All 5 are seated with a plate on their laps.
Could it have been someone you know? You've always got oddballs floating about here.
Unlikely, Viv. As you said, they hit several other residents in the street.
One of Mikey's tricks?
I never trick anyone. They come on their own because I'm irresistible.
What about 12-inch boy?
Who? Oh, him. No, he wishes. I wish. No, too silly.
One of those ladies from the siblinghood.
Sisterhood. I don't think so, Viv. And please don't besmirch the reputational integrity of a group of impassioned feminists.
That, Cynthia? I wouldn't want to meet on a dark night. Could it be the blob? He does hate us. And he was home, Viv. You said so yourself.
He may be a blob, but he's my blob. He's not swift enough in any way to pull a job.
We shouldn't play amateur detectives on this.
I'd make a good Columbo. I liked his twinkle.
He had an artificial eye. You'd be a Clouseau.
I don't think we should be looking to blame or going on a witch hunt. We were robbed.
With respect, Simon, for both you and Mikey, that open door was pretty damning evidence.
I feel it was the recent negative and fearful energy within the house that attracted the menace and the banditry we experienced.
Have you been drinking Viv's orangeade again?
We were scared, and the universe replied this way. It's what you resist is what you get.
I'm resisting a reaction right now.
Are you saying we brought this on ourselves?
Number 12 was robbed twice. What did they do?
Other than have children that look like ferrets, they're just generally obnoxious.
No one deserves to be burglarized. And as a woman of science, I do not subscribe to Simon's new age mumbo-jumbo on the laws of attraction.
I'm impressed that you've heard of it, Steph.
I don't need to be patronized, thank you.
Steph rises and re-enters the house with a muffled huff.
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend. It's just what I believe. I'm off to work, but healing vibes to us all. I don't want distress for anybody.
I just realised my house is all alone. I better get back to it. Thank you for the grub, ducks. Don't fret, Mikey. I'm sure they won't return. But best lock everything away. Uru!
I concede we need to tighten up on security. But you know, if they're going to break in, they will, regardless of what is or isn't here.
William follows Viv by getting up, taking plates inside.
And then there was one.
The next morning, the kitchen, 8:30 a.m. William is cleaning up his breakfast. Simon wanders in with a green face mask on.
Oh, that is startling, Simon. Are you the Green Hornet? Or are you resurrecting baby Jane?
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair. Sorry, I should have warned you. If I don't do the seaweed masks, my skin really suffers from all the makeup. It took a lot to mould this boy into Debbie Harry with any level of success.
Steph ambles in.
Lordy, my heart just skipped a beat. Freaky.
Sorry, Steph, but I need to do them weekly.
Oh, goody. Something to look forward to. I think I'll skip brekkie. A tousled-haired green face first thing after being robbed is too shocking. And speaking of shockers, where's Mikey?
I haven't seen him or his crazy pyjamas yet.
I wish the burglars had taken those. Although without them, he would be in the altogether, and that I absolutely can't deal with any time. Weird, he's not in his room or the shower.
He's in my bed.
William and Steph both do a double take.
One word. Why?
Don't tell me you slept together.
Okay, I won't tell you.
But you did?
What do you want to hear, Steph?
We didn't get any sleep.
Oh, God, you did something else. But why?
Thanks for listening to this installment.
Stay tuned for the next enthralling episode. The role of Mikey is played by Declan Clifford.
Hello, my name is Tessa Nielsen, and I am playing the character Steph.
Hello, my name is River Stevens, and I am playing Simon.
Hi, I'm Riley Nottingham. I'm playing William.
Vivacious Viv is performed by Martine Halliday.
The charming Sergeant Twemlow was played by David Rector.
Hi, the songs you've heard in this series were composed and performed by me. I'm Barry Michael.
Recorded at Big Ears Audio by Adrian Ricciotti and Tony Lazzaro.
And a Real Voice LA by Mike DeLay. In Los Angeles by Miguelito. Muchas gracias. Thanks, guys.
And I'm Joanna Halliday, and I've been your storyteller. Friends of Dorothy was written, produced, directed, and edited by David Rector.
Hey, and an occasional actor.
Why, oh, why, baby, can't we get along? Why, oh, why, baby, can't we get along? We've been fussing and fighting ever since we've been fussing and fighting. Ever since we've been fussing and fighting. Ever since we begun.
Copyright 2024.